nombre es Kerry Ramírez, director de Destino Australia, y me da mucho gusto que nos acompañen el día de hoy en este seminario online que tendremos con nuestros amigos de Swinburne University of Technology. Les agradezco a todos que nos estén acompañando. Nos estamos conectando de manera transpacífica. Vamos a platicar directamente desde el campus de Swinburne University con todos ustedes que se están conectando a diferentes partes de México. Y el día de hoy tenemos la presencia virtual, pero nos da mucho gusto que nos esté acompañando Elise Tom, que es la coordinadora global de admisiones y reclutamiento de Swinburne University. Elise, que tiene un gran conocimiento sobre lo que son los procesos de admisiones que existen dentro de Swinburne. Y el día de hoy nos va a tener una presentación muy interesante. Nos va a platicar sobre las diferentes oportunidades que existen dentro de Swinburne, sobre lo que es la vida de un estudiante en Melbourne y también sobre las diferentes becas que tiene Swinburne University. Nosotros como Destino Australia somos los representantes de Swinburne University en México y desde hace muchos años tenemos una relación muy cercana con Swinburne, una universidad que sinceramente nos sorprende cada día, una universidad que tiene un enfoque muy avanzado de lo que es la educación. De hecho, tenemos varios videos que les vamos a presentar el día de hoy. Y tiene también la maravillosa oportunidad o la maravillosa ventaja de estar ubicados en Melbourne, que Melbourne es una de las mejores ciudades para vivir o la mejor ciudad para vivir de todo el mundo. Y hemos tenido muchísimos estudiantes mexicanos que han estudiado en Swinburne y bueno, ya Elise nos platicará un poquito más al respecto, ¿ok? Entonces, como siempre les recuerdo que tenemos el chat abierto para platicar con ustedes. En cuanto Elise termine la presentación, que será de alrededor de 25 minutos, podremos responder todas las dudas que ustedes puedan tener. Así que les pongo aquí buenas noches en el chat para saludarlos. Y bueno, más adelante ya platicaremos de manera más directa. Veo que José Manuel, Wendy, José Antonio, Martín, varios de ustedes ya se han puesto en contacto con nosotros. Así que voy a cambiar inglés. So I'm going to swap to English now, just to introduce you to Elise and to thank Elise for your time and the opportunity to talk to you. It's great to talk to you once again, and we are really looking forward and excited to hear more about the amazing experience that Swinburne University has. I was telling everybody also that I visited Swinburne just a few weeks ago, and I was heavily impressed with all the changes that you have at the university. So we are really excited to hear from you. Of course, we'll have the chat open. We'll be answering a few questions after you complete your presentation. So for you, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. Hola, everybody. My name's Elise, and I'm from Swinburne University, as Kerry mentioned. Today, I'm sitting in our international office. So this is our study abroad office here in Melbourne. And I'm really excited to be able to talk to you guys more about Swinburne and answer any questions that you might have as well. So like Kerry said, feel free to post some questions in the chat. He can certainly help us in Spanish, and I'm on the English side, obviously. Yeah, very excited to let you know what Swinburne has to offer and to answer any questions that you might have.
Good. You can go for it now.
Awesome. So as Kerry mentioned, I work in the international office here at Swinburne, and I especially look after the Latin American market. I also look after Europe and Americas as well, but we work quite closely with the Latin American market, so it's really good. My plan in the next few months is to take some Spanish lessons, but hopefully I know even just to sort of make some good conversation with you guys and to be able to travel over there and introduce myself and all those basic things. So yeah, apologies that I'm not speaking any Spanish today, but I'm sure we'll make it work. So.
Okay, so this is the first slide.
This is a good overview of what we'll be talking about today. I am sort of seeing your questions pop up here in the chat, so I'll sort of answer them as much as I can as I go along, but there'll also be a good time for questions at the end as well. So it is cold outside today, actually. It's not so cold, but it's very windy today. We had a wind warning, so this is why I'm wearing my sweater. But today we'll be talking about an overview of our university, a bit of a history of Swinburne. I'll chat about the course information that we have on offer. So what sorts of degrees do we offer and what are the study options that you could look at? I'll also chat a little bit about our English language program that we have at Swinburne and the option to package your studies together. There'll be a little bit of information on scholarships, so that's always good. And then there'll be time for questions at the end. So.
Excellent. So, yep, so we're going to move to the next slide, which is a map of Australia.
This is just a fun one. I like to include this slide just because it gives you a little bit of an idea, if you've never been to Australia, just how big it is and some of the stereotypical fun things that Australia is known for. So Swinburne is located right down the very bottom in Melbourne, Melbourne, Victoria. So right at the bottom of Australia there. And just to give you an idea of size, I guess, is the distance from flying to Melbourne all the way over to Perth, so on the very left-hand side, is about 4 hours. And the same thing flying from Melbourne all the way at the bottom, all the way to the top at Cairns where those palm trees are, it's about 4 hours as well. So it's a huge country, it's very big, but lots to offer, especially in those big major cities. So yeah, it's a bit of a good way to see Australia.
And just for everybody, in terms of the size in comparison to Mexico, Australia is 3 times the size of Mexico, so it's 3 times bigger. And the population of Australia, which is 23 million in the whole country, as probably Mexicans will know, is pretty much the population in Mexico City. So yeah, so a big difference. It's a really it is a really big, but an absolutely beautiful country. There is so much to see, and our students, they not only enjoy the time in Melbourne, they enjoy the opportunity to travel all across Australia. So yeah, it's a great country. And of course, Swinburne is located in one of the best places in the whole of Australia.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing to remember too, is that in Australia, the very centre of the country is all really hot deserts. So the main majority of the population lives around the edge of the country and in all of those major cities. So the major cities like Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane are all very, fast-paced and like any major city would be. But then there's also the opportunity to explore those beautiful parts of the country like the beach and the bush and the more relaxed side of things as well. So I've got some links here. I may come back to those in a little while just to sort of show you our website. We can go through our website. But these links, I'm sure, Kerry, will they receive a copy of the slides afterwards or?
Yes, we will send the slides to everybody, and of course the recorded version of the webinar. But it will be great later if you, at least because you know better than anybody, if you can just give us an indication of the different links and the information that everybody can find on the Swinburne website. It's a really good website for everybody. It has a lot of information about how to study in Swinburne, the different programs that they have, and of course, like this idea of the knowing that it's one of the best ads, particular campaigns I have seen. It's very nice, and it shows the spirit that Swinburne has and the experience that it will give to all the students. Yeah.
So as Kerry mentioned, that knowing section, that was the video that we just watched, which was the overview of Swinburne and a lot of our teaching staff who were featured in that video. So these are some of the key contacts in our university who you might be working with, to sort of process your application, or, these are the people that Kerry will work closely with as well. We do have a couple of Spanish-speaking staff. So Andres, who's working in, he's actually working in Colombia at the moment, but he's generally in the region and he speaks Spanish. Joanna Blaine as well, she also speaks Spanish. So if there are any problems or questions or things that you're a little nervous about, we do have staff here in our office who can help you, especially if you arrive to study one of our English courses. It can feel a little bit daunting. So knowing that there is someone in our office who speaks Spanish often really helps as well.
Yep, and we will send you at the end of the presentation an email, and we'll include some of the contacts. And of course, for all your support in Mexico, you can actually contact us directly. We'll give you all the contact details at the end of the presentation for sure. Yep,
perfect.
So.
So a little bit of a history about our university. So Swinburne is quite an old institution, but we started first as a technical university. So in 1908, Swinburne was founded as more of a school to teach students trades, so building and those hands-on sorts of trades and career paths. And then it wasn't until later that we became a full university. So we're quite big now, quite large. The university still has the TAFE College, so for vocational education, where students can study the hands-on trades, but we also now offer the full suite of university programs, and now we're also a very well-established university. So you can see there the size. So we have around 32,000 students and around 7,500 international students. The 500 is for our study abroad and exchange students who come for the short-term programs. So it's a very vibrant campus with lots of students who are Australian background, but also international backgrounds as well. As Kerry mentioned, we're located in one of the best spots, really. Our campus is right near the centre of the city of Melbourne. And so we actually have a train line that runs right through the middle of our campus. If I stand up and almost show you out the window, you can see the train line. It's that close. So the train line runs right through our campus, and it's a quick 10-minute train ride to the city centre of Melbourne. So very easy to get into the city, to get around. Public transport makes things very easy for students. We're also quite well engaged to industry. So because of the fact that a lot of our teaching staff have come from industry, they've come from working in professional companies, they bring with them their networks, their years of knowledge, and then they bring that into the classroom. So you're not just getting a teacher who is, has academic knowledge, but you're also getting a teacher who has that real life, workforce experience and industry connections as well. So that's something that really sets us apart from a lot of other universities, I think. So we'll explore the Learn More link here. Maybe after the presentation, I'll give a little tour of our website, and we can go through some of the really common spots on our website that you might like to look at. I'll touch a little bit on the rankings of our university. I know it's not everything. Some people like to know what the rankings are, and others choose somewhere more based on the location, but it's always good to talk about it. You can read more detail about our rankings through the website, so the link is there, and we can visit that again soon when we look at our website together. But just as a basic overview, Swinburne has been ranked in the top 400 universities in the world for quite a few years in a row now. We're one of the top 3 universities in Melbourne based on the rankings there. And we're also the top 100 in design and physics in the world from the ARWU rankings. So if design or physics is your area of specialty, Swinburne is one of the best places for you to be. Recently, so last year, the ranking systems, they came up with a new ranking, and it was universities that were fantastic young internationalized universities under 50 years old, and Swinburne has been ranked, given that prestigious title, which is fantastic. So remember, I told you that Swinburne is actually quite an old institution, but it wasn't until around 50 years ago that we just became that full university. And so we've advanced very quickly, and as part of that ranking that we've received, we are, so many international and global connections. We're young, we're vibrant, we're modern, and that's the way we're moving forward. So that's pretty exciting as well.
And I think one of the great things about Swinburne is that it's a university that decides to focus in certain discipline areas. They don't like to have, all the discipline areas. They just have a select group of discipline areas, but those discipline areas, they are very, very, very good at. I was extremely impressed, and I'm not a designer or an engineer, but I had the opportunity to visit the latest facilities, and they're just impressive. The kind of things that you are doing over there, it's just really, really good. So yeah, it's
really exciting. Yeah. So as Kerry mentioned, Melbourne was named the world's most livable city. This is the 5th year in a row we've received that award, so it's really exciting city to be in. Melbourne is definitely the culture capital of Australia. So as we mentioned, you know, in the video, you saw people talking about if you like food, if you like art, if you like museums or sport or you know, anything and everything, language, whatever your passion is, Melbourne has that to offer. And I think that's the really great thing about our city is that no matter what your interests are, you'll find a group of friends or a support group or a social outlet for that. There's so many little unique cultural hubs in Melbourne and different areas of the city to explore that I always like to use the comparison of Melbourne or Sydney and things like that. And I love Sydney. It's a great city, but I personally feel that the big main touristy things in Sydney, so the Opera House and you know, the Harbour Bridge and those sorts of things, you can get a cheap flight and go up there and see it in a weekend. But Melbourne is really the sort of city that it takes you months to really explore the laneways and find your favourite coffee shop and maybe your favourite bar that you go to with some friends on a Friday night, or your favourite Latino dance club even. We have all of those sorts of things, and it's those memories that really will stick with you from your time living in another country and culture. Those are the memories you bring back with you. And so I think it's really about finding a city that you really want to make your home while you're here studying. So definitely make sure that that's what you're looking for, and you find a city that will suit you. As it says there as well, you can venture further out. We are never far from the beach, the bush, you know, the beautiful Great Ocean Road. So that scenic drive with the big stone. You might have seen pictures of them, the big stone monuments there in the beach. There's AFL football, so if you're into sport. We also offer lots of student trips throughout the semester. So there's lots of chances to sign up for a trip and have that already organised for you.
And also quite interesting, I think it was last week that Melbourne was selected as the sports capital of the world, which makes complete sense. So, yeah, you know, above places like London or New York or Paris, Melbourne is now the sports capital of the world. So for all the sports fans, and yeah, Melbournians are crazy about the sports, but they're also crazy about arts and culture. There is always something to do in Melbourne. And in terms of sports, Melbourne hosts every year the Australian Tennis Open, the Grand Prix of Formula One, but there are also many, many, many other events, as Elise mentioned. So really a city that offers you not only to be in a good academic place, but also there are a lot of things to do when you are outside of the university campus, definitely. So now Liz is going to just give us an indication, an idea of the different study areas that Swinburne has.
So now I guess I've seen a lot of questions on the side here in the chat, mostly about the types of courses we offer. So we'll move now into more of the academic side of things. When we explore the website soon, I'll go through a lot of our main study areas, but this is here a good summary. I guess mainly the main things that we don't cover, if that makes it easier, is things like medicine and dentistry, nursing, and those types of medical fields, I guess. So most other areas Swinburne offers in some way or shape or form. So as you can see there, we offer various different engineering streams, information technology, lots of different major areas in that field. Lots of science study fields, as we mentioned about how Swinburne's quite big in design, and also business is another one of our huge areas as well. The main courses that have been really popular recently is the entrepreneurship and innovation course. So I think, you know, Swinburne is great in the sense that they take their courses and what we teach and look to see what are the students of today, what is the future generation looking to study. You know, we always hear that saying where it says, you know, the job that you will be doing in 5 years' time may not even exist yet. And so I think that Swinburne is a great example of a university that is really helping students to be prepared for those kinds of jobs. We also offer, so in information technology, there's lots of, you know, counter-terrorism and on those sorts of things. So online space, all of those kinds of things. I just saw the thing here, so sorry, I might not have been clear. The only things we do not offer are things like medicine and dentistry and nursing. So those types of medical fields, we don't go that specific, but this here is more a it's awesome that Kerry actually knows Swinburne really, really well. So, you know, if I disappear or can't answer a question, he is definitely one of the best people to ask. So he knows our university almost as well as we do. So you can definitely rest assured that he knows what's awesome about Swinburne. So as you mentioned, there's a little bit of advantage, I guess, to studying with us at Swinburne, because we like to do things a little bit differently. We were one of the first universities in Australia recently to bring on this idea of work integrated learning. So we're realising that students really want to be job ready when they enter the workforce. We're realising that they want experience, they want connections, they want you know, to be out in the workforce. And so we've created a program called the Work Integrated Learning Program, where students can get involved in these kinds of activities during their degree. So the great thing about this is that it means that students are able to participate in things such as study tours. So they're industry-led study tours where students will go for short times to participate and meet with different companies. They might go to the USA for 4 weeks and meet at the Google head office, and go to Harvard and go to some various different companies over there. It's also possible that you can work on industry projects. So as part of your class time, you would spend time working on a project for a company, an external company, doing research for them or doing part of a project. There's also the opportunity for work integrated placements as well. So part of our professional degree suite is where students are eligible to work for 12 months full time for a company as part of their degree and gain credit towards their degree. So fully paid. So that's something that's a real standout difference, I guess, to add to your degree. The work experience really helps to make sure that you're job ready when you graduate. So yeah, like I said, we'll explore the website and have a look at these course offerings and in lots of detail about where those integrated learning opportunities will sit. But as part of any full degree that you study at Swinburne, you have the opportunity to get involved in the work integrated learning.
Well, that's really, really amazing. And I think it shows that modern view that Swinburne has in terms of offering education, programs that really get you all ready for getting the right job for everybody. So wow, that's pretty good. So congratulations for that.
Most universities in Australia now are starting to offer these similar types of programs. So it's definitely the way that Australian education is moving. We really want to make sure that graduates are ready for the workforce and ready to giving them the big to get a job. Another main unique thing about Swinburne is our global leadership program. So I know it's really popular to want to study in the US, but the US can make things really difficult in terms of visas. And, with Donald Trump, everyone's like, stay away from the US. We don't want to go near it. So the great thing about this Swinburne degree that we offer is that it's delivered in conjunction with a US university. Northeastern are located in Boston in the US, but we offer this degree with them, so you can gain 2 master's degrees in 2 years, all in Melbourne. So you don't have to leave Melbourne. You can study the whole master's degree here and gain the 2 master's degrees, one from Australia and one from the US. We have staff from Northeastern University come over here and teach the US classes, and there's a couple of online classes as well, but it means that you have the opportunity to really get 2 masters in 2 years is so quick. So those are offered in these disciplines here that are listed. So the US side, you would gain a Master's of Science in Leadership. And then from the Swinburne side, you would have a Master's of Professional Accounting or International Business, Marketing or Finance and Banking. So there's a few different discipline areas, but the Global Leadership Program is a really unique program that only our university offers.
Excellent. And now this is the Study Abroad program, which is have 1 or 2 semesters. This is mainly for students in Mexico who are doing their bachelor degree. Swinburne has quite a few exchange programs already with Mexican universities, but you don't have to be part of that exchange program. You can go to Swinburne and have that experience of the Swinburne experience for 1 or 2 semesters.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to describe it, I guess. And the great thing about a study abroad program is that if maybe you're not sure, so maybe you're in your bachelor's degree and you're thinking, do I want to do a whole master's in Australia? Will I like it? I'm not sure. This is a really great way to test it. Or maybe if you've got a bit more of a tight budget and it is expensive to study in Australia, this is also another good way to still spend some time here, but not so expensive. So as Kerry mentioned, you can study for 6 months or 1 year at our university, and you can choose from any classes you like that we offer. So, you know, even if you're a business major, you can choose 3 business classes, and then you can choose a class from, you know, science, or you can take a, you know, introduction to Aboriginal studies class or anything like that. So it's a really good opportunity to maybe try some classes that you would not have had the chance to. And so the fees are listed there. Part of the study abroad program is that we offer what's called a certificate of specialisation. So if you study 2 or more classes from the same area, so if you study 2 business classes or 2 engineering classes or something, we award you with a certificate of specialisation. So it's almost like a little minor or something on a certificate that you can bring back to your university at home. And it just shows that you've had some depth in your studies and adds a little something to your resume. Another thing about the study abroad program is that you can take the credit that you study here and bring it back to your university in Mexico. So it means that then you won't fall behind in your studies and you can still be on time to complete your bachelor degree.
Wow, so basically you can have a great experience in Melbourne for 1 or 2 semesters, get the certificate of specialization, which it will be really, really good to have that when you are looking for a job. And also all the units that you study in Swinburne, you can go back to your home university in Mexico and say, can I get credit for these units? So you just can continue with your program. So that's a really, really good opportunity for everyone. So yet another good option for somebody that, as Elise said, that probably is not ready to take the whole undergraduate or the whole master's program. Well, that's a really good opportunity. And this one in particular, this slide that you're going to see on your screen, it has been a really, really interesting hit. And we thank Swinburne for having such a great promotion, because this is for everybody who wants to improve their English, definitely.
So this was probably one of the most popular slides, I guess, and one of the most popular areas. So Swinburne, because as I said, you know, we have all different areas of study. We have the university, we have the technical institution, and we also have English language. And so there's a whole area of the university with classrooms and class space dedicated for the English language program. And I think there are so many English language providers in Australia. So we all know that there are lots of different ones to compare and choose between and ask about. But Swinburne is a rarity, I guess, because we are a university level English program. So if you study English at Swinburne, you have access to all of the university resources. So you're studying on our campus here like any would. You have access to the library, you'll have a student card just like anybody else, access to all of our student clubs and societies, access to the on-campus healthcare and language and study assistance. So anything that any of our full university students have as an English language student, you would also be able to access and use, which is really great. The Ellicos English language program, we start new intakes every 5 weeks. So it's not based on the semesters. You can start whenever it suits you, which is really good. We offer general English, but we also offer the English for academic purposes as well, so the EAP English. And the way our Swinburne language program works is that if you plan to move on to a further degree, so if you want to start with English, move to a bachelor or maybe move to a master's, you can use your results in the Swinburne language program to gain entry into your further degree. So, you know, you may not need to take an IELTS test or a TOEFL test. You can use your results from Swinburne to get entry into your degree. So that depends. It differs with each course, but generally it's a great thing that you can just transition from English to bachelor to master's or through any other pathway program. The classes, this is a really important one because this is another thing that sets us apart from most of the smaller providers, is that our classes are from Monday to Friday. and you may have class between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can see there's 20 hours of class per week, plus an extra 5 hours of learning online. And this is usually one of the things that our students are can be a little frustrated about, because it can be hard to find the spare time in between your classes. But I think the thing about Swinburne is that it ensures that the students who want to study English here, they're serious about their studies. You know, they really want to do well, and having access to university level resources is something that is really great too. So you might find there's a bit of a trade-off there. Maybe you've heard some other things from some of your friends who have studied in the city at pretty flexible English places. But don't forget too that when you do finish your English language program at Swinburne, you will already be considered a Swinburne student. So, you know, all of your certificates that you get for completing your English and all that, it will have the Swinburne University name on it. So that's another great thing too. And when we explore the website, we'll explore the website there for the English language. But I guess you're probably wondering too about prices. Generally, this $295 per week price is our special promotion for Latin American students. So it's awesome. Normally the price is $420 per week. So for you guys especially, we offer a really great promotional discount. Right now we have an even further discount that is only running until September of this year. So I know, you know, it takes a while to plan and to decide when you might come to Australia, but if students decide to study 20 weeks or more from our program and they arrive in Australia before October, they'll only pay $196 per week, $196 per week.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
A very, very cheap price. So that promotion has only been okayed until October of this year. You have to start before October. The last intake that you could start is on the 29th of September. So it's a very, very good, cheap price. And it's an awesome way to test if you like Swinburne or Australia or Melbourne. You don't have to package it with any other courses. You can just come and try the ALECOS and see how you like it. So if that's something you've been thinking about for a while, it might be chat to myself or to Kerry and ask about you know, the promotional price, and you could maybe make the most of that and see if it's a good affordable way to try Australia and to try Melbourne.
Yeah, that's a really, really, really good promotion. Thanks, Elise. One of the best prices we have seen in a very long time, and especially when you consider that we're talking about a university that is one of the best in the world, and you'll be able to have access to all the campus facility. You are inside of the campus, a really good, high quality English language course for that price is pretty amazing. So yeah, that's really good. So excellent. So we will send more information to everyone, and of course all the details. But yeah, we already had a really good response for this special prize. So thanks for Swinburne for that consideration, because we know that it was a special consideration for Mexico. So yeah, so thanks for that. Consider that. So that's awesome. Okay.
So now the most fun one that everybody wants to know about, the scholarships. Yeah, we all know studying in Australia is very expensive, and it's so important to know that you know, it's going to be expensive before you arrive, and planning for that is important too. So we do offer some scholarships. So as I said before, you can see here the English language scholarship that's listed there. You don't need to package it. It's just that you need to start before October of this year, because this promotion ends in September, unfortunately. So if that works for you, that's awesome. We would love to have you here at Swinburne. We also offer some postgraduate scholarships as well. So we have a number of 25% scholarships available for postgraduate courses, people studying their masters. We have a small number of 25% scholarships for bachelor's degrees, but that is if you're studying your full bachelor degree here at Swinburne, so not the study abroad program. So I saw, Edith, that you asked about the fees and if there are scholarships for the 6 months. The scholarships are usually only for the full degree. So if you're studying all all of your degree here at Swinburne. The study abroad price is already very discounted, and so we don't usually offer scholarships on top of that. But for your full degree, you might be eligible for one of these 25% scholarships off your fees. So how those work is that you don't need to fill in any extra paperwork or anything like that. You're automatically assessed for a scholarship when you submit your application. And so our team will have a look. Generally, the scholarships are allocated firstly on academic merit. So students who have done very well in their studies before, maybe they've already met their English requirements. Usually some scholarships are given out to those students. But generally we have a number that are left that if you decide you want to start first with ELICOS and then move into your bachelor or your master's, we can package it with a scholarship. So there's also options for that too. So just as long as you make us aware that you want to put yourself forward for a scholarship when you apply, let us know and we'll make sure that we assess you for that. We also have a scholarship page on our website as well, which I'll show you, and you can search for any additional scholarships that exist in other areas of the university too.
And for everybody also, it's important to know that these scholarships that Swinburne offer, they could actually be combined with some scholarships that are offered for in Mexico. For instance, Swinburne actually had an agreement, and I think still active, with FUNED, which is in particular for master's degree in business. It could be for other areas, but mainly for business programs. So when you combine the 25 scholarship that Swinburne is giving you plus all the additional support that you can get from FUNED, you can actually cover about 60% of the master's degree, which is amazing to be able to have that amount of support. In terms of CONACYT, Swinburne actually has been considered in many cases. They don't have a particular agreement with CONACYT, but because it's a really good university in certain areas, we had CONACYT scholars in the past. So we'll give you all the information about it and we'll assist you. So you just get your application on time and we can actually help you with all these scholarships. So yeah, so really good opportunities as well in terms of scholarships, definitely with Swinburne.
Cool.
Okay, so you're just gonna go to the next one. Yep.
So this is just a bit of a summary of the services that we offer. So every student who comes to study with us at Swinburne, we offer them free pickup from the airport. So one less thing to worry about when you arrive. We have lots of careers and employment assistance. So if you're wanting to find a part-time job while you study, we can help you get your resume ready and possibly help you find some connections with a part-time job. There's Wi-Fi all over campus. There's a big health and wellbeing centre. So there's actually a doctor on campus here. If you get sick, you don't have to go far to go to the doctor. We have a big multi-faith prayer facility as well. There's lots of student clubs. So depending on what you're interested in, maybe you want to play a sport, maybe you want to join for craft or something, there's lots of different student clubs you can join. We also have language and skills, academic skills support too. So if you have to write an essay for your class and you have to put some referencing in, there are people who can help you learn how to do that referencing. You're not by yourself and you don't need to panic and worry about it. There are people who can help with study skills as well. We also offer lots of orientation welcome activities. So there's lots of chances to meet other students here on campus during the first week of classes. There's always free lunches happening on campus and great ways for students to interact and to meet each other.
And just quickly, in terms of careers and employment, Denise was asking us if students can study during their master's. So for everybody, it's important to know that here in Australia, if you are doing a semester abroad, ELICOS program, which is English, an undergraduate or a master's or a PhD, you actually have the opportunity to work part-time. And for that, it's very important to know that the university, through this office, the Career and Employment Office, they can actually support you in assisting you in finding a job. They cannot guarantee that you'll get a job, but they will actually help you. And our experience is that a lot of our students from Mexico, they do find a job and they do work while they are doing their degrees in Australia, which is a really, really great experience because, of course, it helps in terms of getting some additional funding, but also it really helps just to start developing your career in a place that is outside of Mexico. So yeah, so also the university will offer you some assistance with that. So that's excellent.
Yeah. So this is a bit more of an idea about our campus location. So this square here that you see, our whole entire campus is located inside that square. So it makes it really easy to get around and to get to everything you need. So I'd say from walking from one end of this square to the other is no more than, say, 500 meters. It's very, very compact. Our buildings are quite tall instead of spread out wide. So I think that's another great thing about Swinburne is that we have that compact campus feel. Everybody is there on campus together. The on-campus accommodation is in this area, all of the teaching buildings, the labs, the English language, all of the accommodation, everything is in this space. And you can also see the train line running right through the middle of the campus there as well, the Glenferrie train station. Around Swinburne, so we've got the gardens there as well, which are really nice to get away for lunch, to have a nice sit in the gardens. And on Glenferrie Road, on the left side of the campus, is a street that is just filled with cafes and shops and restaurants. There's 2 big supermarkets, there's all of the major banks, and there's also a big fitness and leisure facility as well with swimming pools. And so you don't really need to leave the Swinburne campus to have access to everything you need as a student. So it's a great spot to be.
It is a really, really nice area, and it's really like having a little, not a little, shopping center around you, because you're gonna find all the different shops, for, having a nice lunch, but also for doing your banking, or you wanna have an electronics, I don't know, you need something for your laptop. Everything is around the Swinburne campus, so it's very, very, very easy to move around, which, believe me, when you're an international student and you don't know where you are going, it really, really, really helps.
I think that's one of the best things. Most students, they arrive and it's so overwhelming because you're like, where do I go? First thing you want to do is set up a phone and get a bank account and all those things. And it's a bit daunting. And so to know that all you do is just walk to the next street and everything is there, it makes things very easy. So it's good. It also means between classes, you can go to the bank if you need to, or you can quickly go and get a workout in after class. It's a really good spot to be. Accommodation is always a very big question as well. You want to know where are you going to live while you're here. And so we have a few different options. Students can choose to stay on campus in our on-campus accommodation, and I can kind of almost show you here. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see, but this building just here goes up quite high, and that has one of our on-campus accommodation spots. And we also have a few different locations around the campus where there is on-campus housing. It can be a little more expensive, but the things to think about is that all of the bills are included. There are people around everywhere, so if anything breaks or whatever, you've got staff who will fix it. You are right here on the campus, so you will save on transport costs as well. So there's all of those things to keep in mind too. But a lot of our students do choose to live in a share house. So they'll find some other students, Australian students or other Mexican students, and they will choose to rent a house off campus. So there is lots of student housing around the Hawthorn area, but there's also lots of housing all throughout the city of Melbourne. Because we are only 10 minutes on the train to the city, it makes it very easy that you can live in any of the suburbs nearby and be able to travel to Swinburne really quickly. So share housing is also a good option to save some money and also to meet and live with local students as well. There is also a homestay option too. So this one is not as popular. It's more popular with the younger students, but you can live and stay with an Australian family if you decide that that's how you would like to do it. The younger students usually choose that for, a sense of security and things like that. But it can also be great if you're just looking for a really good cultural immersion. So living with an Australian family and seeing what that's like. So there is another option there too. And we also have, so similar to how we have staff to help with careers, we also have a staff member to help with accommodation advice. So he can help to look over a lease. If it's a bit scary to look at signing a rental agreement, he can look over that for you. He can help find connections to get you into a place that might be suitable. And so we have someone on campus who can help with advice for living and things like that too.
Yeah, that's something that is very important, at least, because I think that also, you know, like especially for Mexicans, and I had that experience when I studied in Australia. It's so nice to see that the university looks after you. As you can see, there are so many different accommodation options, and if not, there is a person there just really assisting you. So sorry for interrupting, but I think it's a very, very important part of the student experience to know that somebody is going to be there to look after you. And it's not only somebody, there is a lot of people, yes, looking after everybody there.
Yeah.
Well, finally, this is a link. We'll show the link in a few minutes. It's from a website called Study Melbourne, and they have a really, really nice feature that Elise is gonna. If you want to do it, we can show it later in your computer just to create your own story. But that's pretty much it for the presentation today.
Yeah, that's it today. We'll spend some time answering questions. I just wanted to show you, this is a really cool video, I guess, that you can really create your own story. So it customizes the video based on what you want to see during your experience. So what I'll do is I will try to get my screen shared. I think I just used this one, right? Screen share.
Yep, so if you just go, it's just the green button. So yeah, if you just can just share it with us. In the meantime, just everybody, it will be good for you to know that we'll send you all the information by email. And of course, we're going to answer a few questions now.
Yep. Okay, my computer is not liking this. Let me just try desktop instead. Okay, can you all see my screen now? Is that working?
Yep, we can see you now. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So this is the Melbourne story, Start Your Story. It's just a 3-minute video, but it asks you to sort of customize based on what you would like during your Melbourne experience. So you can see here, you'll choose what level of study you might be in. So we'll just say English language for now. And then the next one is, where are you going to live? So student accommodation, will you rent or will you homestay? So we'll just pick this one just for fun today. How will you get around? Public transport, will you drive, will you cycle? This gives you a good look at Melbourne's public transport system. And what do you want to see and do? So this one's always the hardest. I can never pick which one I want to use. So you can choose obviously lots of different areas, but we'll go with food and cuisine because that's my favorite. And what sort of music do you like? So we'll give this one a go. And then it creates the story. So I hope you can hear. Hope the volume's okay.
Yeah, we can hear a little bit of it. And for everybody, I just put on the chat the link so you can actually create your own Melbourne story. And in fact, they even have it in Spanish, which is really, really nice. So you can actually see all the different features of the basically your Melbourne story. And it's very nice because it really gives you that idea of how it's going to be your life in Melbourne. So it's a really, really great website, definitely. And Daniel Sarasaga has been asking us a little bit about the fees per semester, in particular for master's degree. I don't know, you want to share the Swinburne website, Liz? So
yes, sure.
That's a good idea.
I also just saw someone was asking about, sorry, I'm scrolling through all the questions trying to make sure that I don't miss anybody's question. Jose asked about environmental studies as well. I will just share my screen here. So I've looked up here just our offerings of environment and sustainability. So we have courses here in conservation, land management, environmental science, environmental sustainability. So we certainly do offer environmental courses. So that's an area that our students have done really well in, actually. There's a sample of student work here that you can see that they participate in every year. But it is a big area for us. So you can jump online and check out the detailed offerings there. I think maybe I'll just show you, because I'm sure a lot of you will now want to go onto the website and have a look at the courses that you might be interested in. So let's get an idea of, if you're wanting to search on our website, where do you go? How do you navigate things? Where do I look? So this is our homepage here. And it also lists all of our courses here. So usually the best thing to do is just select which area are you interested in. We'll go with business for now. So this is the same process for all of the study areas, but you'll find here a list of all of the different areas that we offer degrees in as well. So you can see here accounting, business administration, so that would be your MBA, human resource management. This is the entrepreneurship and innovation course I was telling you about, marketing. So there's all the different areas of specialty that we offer. And so once you click on an area that you are interested in, you can then scroll down. You can read a testimonial, George here, who I worked with last year as well. A little bit about Swinburne, the success of some of our graduates, but also you'll be international students. You can look here at the degrees. So you can look through all of our bachelors, all of our masters, and then once you click on a course that you are interested in, so a Master of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, you can then scroll down to see here the duration, so how long the course takes, when you can start, so whether there's intakes twice a year or once a year, and also the fees. The big thing is the fees. So on each course page, you will find the fees for how much that course costs. There's also a bit more information about the course in detail too. So you can read the description, but if you scroll down further, it actually shows you all of the units of study that you will take. So you can really look in depth. You can even then click further into each of the classes and find out what the class will be teaching you as well. So really you can take your time just looking through the website and finding the course that's right for you. You can read up on each of the classes you will take, learn about what you'll be learning. There's lots of information all on the website, and it's very simple to navigate, very user-friendly. So here you go, you can see the fees there, the entry requirements are listed, English language requirements are listed. So it's a really good space to look at and check out on the website. We'll also quickly just visit the international, I spelled that wrong, that's not good. Yes, I did mean international. The International Students website. So this is a great place for you to start as well. There's reasons to choose Swinburne, the application instructions, but also keep in mind that Kerry can help you with your application fully along the way, so the whole process. But there's also information about preparing to study at Swinburne and the link to the scholarships page here as well. So this is a really good space to look at to get an idea about living in Australia and studying here with us in Melbourne. So there's that as well. How are we going for time? I don't want to take up too much time if people have a lot of questions.
Yeah, no, we're going really, really well. I'm also conscious about your time. And one of the questions that we are getting at the moment, and I think we could just explain, is in terms of the actual application for the programs, any programs. So as Elise mentioned, the process is done through us. We'll be able to facilitate the whole process. And usually we consider that 3 or 4 months are a good time to consider for the application process. Swinburne is very, very good in terms of just, process and assessing everything when they get the documents. But just have in mind that if you need a scholarship, especially the CONACYT scholarships or all the time for scholarship, it's very important just to apply with a lot more time, so you can actually have your acceptance offer when the scholarship opens. So for instance, Danielle was telling me, I would like to start in autumn next year, which will be about August 2017. So what we recommend, Danielle, is that if you start the process with us in September, October, it's really good time to get everything organized. So if there are any scholarships available by CONACYT or something like that, you will be able to apply for those scholarships as well. So anyhow, we'll see case by case, but we'll definitely be able just to help you in each one of the cases, okay? By email. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of the session. So I'm just gonna ask.
Sorry, we ran over time.
No, it's good because we were able just to answer a lot of questions. And I just wanna thank Elise for your time and also for your patience with technology. I think it was a really good session. For us, it was just very important that you learn a little bit more about what Swinburne has to offer. As you can see, it's a really good university located in an amazing place. They have a really forward thinking on the way in which you should study your university. Great ideas, great promotions, and great facilities, and great support in terms of the scholarship. So thank you so much. And we always had really good feedback from our Swinburne students.
That's awesome to hear. And you know, it was really great to be able to spend some time with you guys and talk about Swinburne. And I know I might not have had the opportunity to answer all of your questions. So if you do have any other questions, feel free. You can contact Kerry and he can definitely the application process and things. You can also email me directly. I'm happy for you guys to send me an email to know that you're talking to a real person from Swinburne. It's not, you know, some generic email. There is a real person there who can help you. So feel free to use that email address there and contact me if you want. But otherwise, like I said, we will send through all the communications, the slides, the promotional information. And yeah, we hope to see some of you at Swinburne maybe someday soon. It would be really great to be able to welcome you.
Excellent. And I have another important news for everybody, because Stuart Collins, which he works with Elise, he's going to be in Mexico very soon. At the end of this month, we're putting together a couple of activities for him. So just, you know, be aware that that's going to happen, so you can actually go and meet Stuart. So yeah, excellent. So thank you to everybody for being with us. Thank you for your interest. We'll be in touch with you. We're gonna keep talking to you, and yeah, that's it. So I think it's lunchtime here in Australia. So
and bedtime
bedtime in Mexico. Yes, that's right.
Well, everybody, I hope you have a good night, and hopefully perhaps maybe next time I'll be able to introduce myself in Spanish.
That was really good, Elise. So we're gonna just finish with a short video about Australia in general. It's a video that we always like to share with everybody that shows, you know, the amazing country that Australia is. And thank you again. Good night to everybody in Mexico, and thanks, Elise, for all your time. And yeah, that's all for today.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Okay, see ya. Bye everybody.
See ya.
Let me just select the video and see you later, everybody. Hasta luego, que la pasen bien.